Dear friends, in this video today I am going to discuss about transformation of sentence. I mean from assertive to interrogative. That means how can we transform an assertive sentence into an interrogative sentence. Simple. In that case we just need to follow 4 steps. If you follow these 4 steps, then it will be very simple to transform an assertive sentence into an interrogative sentence. So before that, we must know about assertive sentence. What is assertive sentence? Okay, at the same time we must also know what is interrogative sentence. So first of all, assertive sentence. What is assertive sentence? In Bengali it is called বর্ণনামূলক বাক্য, অর্থাৎ যে সেন্টেন্সগুলি কোনো কিছু বর্ণনা দেওয়ার জন্য ব্যবহার করা হয়, these are called assertive sentence. The sentence that is used to describe something is called assertive sentence. For example, তোমরা স্ক্রিনেও দেখতে পারো, he is going to school, he did this. So if you take these 2 examples, then it will be very clear to you how an assertive sentence is. He is going to school. Here what we are doing, we are describing about he, and when we said he did this, then we have discussed about whom, about he. Now English is not our mother tongue. So here is the problem. If English is not the mother tongue, then how we understand what is the meaning of that sentence? In that case, what we need to do so that we can understand the sentence is an assertive sentence. As we have already said, assertive sentence is what? It is a statement. It describes something. But if we don't understand the meaning of that sentence, then how we can understand whether it is describing or doing anything else? That's why we must know this sentence in other way. What is that way? We have to go with the formation of this sentence. Okay, you have to go with the formation of this sentence. Basically there are 3 things by which we try to identify a sentence, and these 3 things are subject, verb and object. Subject, verb and object. So now the question is how they are arranged in case of assertive sentence. In case of assertive sentence, first of all there should be subject, then verb and then object, and finally there should be a full stop. Okay, so if the formation is like that, subject, verb, object, and finally there is a full stop, then definitely it will be an assertive sentence. Clear? So if I say he did this, it is what? It is an assertive sentence. He is going to school, it is what? It is an assertive sentence. Here if you consider this sentence, he did this, what happens here? He is the subject, did is the verb, this is what? Object. So normally it is what? It is an assertive sentence. Now you have to know about an interrogative sentence. What is an interrogative sentence? Interrogative sentence is nothing but a question. Interrogative sentence is nothing but a question. Any kind of question should be an interrogative sentence. So again same thing, if we go with the formation, then how we will know and how we will actually identify whether this sentence is interrogative? Very simple. Interrogative sentence starts with an auxiliary verb, then subject and then object, and finally there should be a question mark. So auxiliary verb, subject and object, finally a question mark, that it will be an interrogative sentence. But in some cases there may have WH word at first. For example, what is your name? Where are you going? These are also interrogative sentence, but here the sentence starts with a WH word. Okay, but if you take the other sentences, for example, are you going to school? This is what? In that case it starts with an auxiliary verb. So very simple, how we'll identify an interrogative sentence? First of all there should be auxiliary verb, then subject, then object, finally there should be a question mark. But in some cases you will find that there can be WH word at first. So we have already learned what is assertive sentence. And what is interrogative sentence? Now we can easily identify whether the sentence is assertive or interrogative. Now the question is how to transform. Means how to transform an assertive sentence into an interrogative sentence. Very simple. As I said, we have to maintain 4 steps. If you maintain these 4 steps, then you can easily transform an assertive sentence into an interrogative sentence. So step number 1, what you should do? Step number 1 is, first of all, we have to find out the auxiliary verb and write down it. First, the auxiliary verb should be found out from the sentence and you have to write it down. So first step is what? Auxiliary verb. Now the question is, in every sentences you will need to find this auxiliary verb. Okay, so if the auxiliary verb is missing in a sentence, then what you will do? In that case, 3 things will come: do, did, does. But you will not write down these 3 things together. Only one of them you should write: do, did, or does. Do for what? Do for present tense. Did for past tense. And does will be used if there is as or es with the verb. Okay, so do for present tense, did for past tense, and does whenever there is as or es with the verb. Okay, so first step is what? You just have to write down the auxiliary verb first. But if the auxiliary verb is missing, then only do, did, or does that will come to help you. So do for what? Do for present tense. When you will write did for past tense, and when does when there is as or es with the verb. Okay, so this one is the first step. Step number 2, what you should do? Step number 2 is very simple. Just notice whether there is given any not. অর্থাৎ কোনো নট আছে কিনা ওই সেন্টেন্সের মধ্যে। যদি নট থাকে, you just need to omit this, আর যদি নট না থাকে, you have to write down this. Very simple. If there is not, just omit it. If no not is given, then you just have to introduce it. But I will suggest to write not how and apostrophe t in short form. Okay, is not, instead of writing like that, you have to write on isn't. Okay, so what? Second step, not থাকলে not বাদ দেওয়া, not না থাকলে and apostrophe t এভাবে লেখা. Why I'm suggesting like this? Because generally what happens, not is written before noun but after pronoun in case of interrogative sentence. So there lies the problem, because then you need to understand whether the subject is noun or pronoun. Then you have to write down not. Okay, if it is a noun, then you have to place it before it, but if it is a pronoun, then you have to place it after it. Okay, that means the pronoun. So till number 3, what is that? It is very simple. You just need to write down the rest part of the sentence without any change. You have to write down the rest part of the sentence without any change. Very simple. Fourth step is very simple. What you need to do, you just have to put a question mark. And another things we have to remember, okay, that is about no, because I have already said that if not is given, then you have to omit it. Okay, but if not is missing, then you have to introduce it. But I have not said what you will do if there is given only no and no. What you should do in that case? It is very simple actually. In that case, what you will do, you have to replace this no with any. What? You have to replace this no with any. So you can take an example for that. For example, there is no reason to scold. There is no reason to scold. You can also see on the screen. There is no reason to scold. How will you make it interrogative? Very simple. First of all, auxiliary verb. So who is the auxiliary verb here? Is. So write down is. Then what other things will remain same? Is there. What I said, no should be replaced with any. So is there any reason to scold? Finally there should be question mark. Very simple. Next, we need to remember that yes, in some cases you may also fumble that you may also agar that there is no not in this word. For example, nothing, nowhere. It seems that there may be no not, but actually how these words are made, nothing. How these words are made, not plus anything, nowhere. How these are made, not plus anywhere. Okay, I will make a list of this by which you can easily understand, yes, that is not. Why I am saying? Because in case of interrogative, what you need to do, you have to omit this not if these are present. So for this you need to know whether there is given any not or not given. Okay, so for this I am saying some list will be given where you can easily understand whether their not is present or missing. Okay. Okay, so now we will take some examples and we'll see how to transform just maintaining these 4 steps. Okay, very simple to do this. So the first example, see, number 1, he is going to school. It is what? It is an assertive sentence. What you need to do? You have to make it an interrogative sentence. How can you do this? First step is what? You have to write down an auxiliary verb. Who is the auxiliary verb here? Definitely is. So write down is. Then what? You have to see whether there is given any not. দেখতে হবে কোনো not দেওয়া আছে কিনা. The sentence is what? He is going to school. So very simple. No not is given here. এখানে কোনো not নেই. So you just have to introduce a not. How you will write? An apostrophe T. So write down in short form, isn't. Is an apostrophe T, isn't. Then the rest of the parts will remain same. He going to school. Very simple. And finally you just have to put a question mark. So very simple. Isn't he going to school? Right? So in this way you have to do other sentences also. But okay, we will take another example where there is no auxiliary verb. Okay, for example, he went there. He went there. Okay, how to do this? In case of that, you will see that there is no auxiliary verb. So the problem arises, what I said? I said that if there is no auxiliary verb, then you have to introduce do, did or does. Now the question is, which one you will write? Do, did or does? See here, went is what? Went is past tense. So definitely you have to write down did. So write down did. Did. Then you have to see what? Not ache ki nahi, if there is any not. So not is missing here, that means you have to introduce not. How you will write? An apostrophe T. So didn't. Okay, the other parts will remain same. Didn't he? But went you cannot write went. Why? Because after did always you have to write down the present tense of the verb. So instead of writing went, you have to write down go. So didn't he go there? Finally there should be a question mark. Very simple, right? But here I say that after did you have to write down present tense of the verb. Why? There is also reason, because of infinitive. Okay, in next video I will come with this. Okay, I will solve this problem. Okay, just you need to do this. Okay, there is given in the screen. See, there are another 10 sentences given that you can practice, that I have said already, maintaining these 4 steps. Okay, and you must also comment in the comment box with this. If you feel any problem, I will try to resolve it.